Kia ora. Well, plenty of weather across New Zealand as we head through the rest of today for Wednesday, and also through in towards Thursday and the start of the weekend as well. We're looking at a large area of low pressure off towards the western side of the country. That's already fed plenty of rainfall in towards the southern parts of Westland. Rainfall totals here as much as 250 to 350 millimetres of rain up in the ranges there. And we've got more to come as we go through the rest of today, and more especially through into Thursday as well. Plenty of cloud, you can see it running through there, and that all masks an area of low pressure. As we head through the rest of Wednesday afternoon, we'll find the rainfall sliding down towards Fiordland and Southland. It's this next area of wet weather set to move back in towards places like Westland, in towards parts of Buller and up towards Tasman as we head through Thursday. Feeding background in towards Southland as well, some heavy rainfall for you. And that rain by the end of the day reaches in towards parts of Northland as well. These are very active and busy charts. You can see we've got plenty of wind arrows on there as well. An indication that those northerly winds will be increasing as well, particularly through parts of Northland, Auckland, Taranaki, and also down towards parts of the northern half of the South Island as well. But a very unsettled, very active, very wet and windy story as we head into Thursday. So plenty more severe weather watches and warnings in place. Now, the heaviest rainfall is still going to be about those ranges of Westland, south of Hokitika, where we could find as much as another 250 to 400 millimetres of rainfall. With those stronger winds, that's something that will get pushed across in towards the headwaters of Canterbury and Otago, lakes and rivers. But it'll also feed back round in towards parts of Southland. Now, rainfall totals here not as high as we'll see on that western coast, but still enough to be bringing a significant impact to parts of Southland and Clutha. So watch out for those warnings as we head through Thursday. We'll also find the rain increasing for Thursday through parts of Buller, particularly across those southern parts and in towards places like the Paparoa Ranges. So definitely worth keeping an eye on the warnings for you as well. Those western parts of the Tasman district, even in towards parts of Marlborough, the Richmond and Bryant Ranges, and even Mount Taranaki, catching that heavy rainfall through Thursday and in towards Friday. By the end of the day on Thursday, we'll find that rain increasing up north, perhaps even with some thunderstorms. But as you saw from those charts as well, it's also a windy story with those northerly winds increasing across parts of Nelson, Marlborough and Buller, and even towards the Canterbury High Country, Wellington, and up in towards Taranaki, Taihape and Wanganui as well. So well worth keeping an eye on the forecast for you too. But it has to be said, elsewhere on the North Island is going to be pretty windy as well, so do keep a close eye on those forecasts, especially Thursday night and in towards Friday morning. But the story for Thursday is one of the weather going downhill for the North Island. You can see the best of the weather out towards this eastern parts, in towards Wairarapa and Hawke's Bay, but generally, as this rain moves closer towards us, it's preceded by a fair amount of cloud and strengthening winds as well. You can see by the end of the day, those darker blues running towards Northland, some heavy falls in that as well. Plus like Mount Taranaki, Taranaki Maunga, and even in towards Wellington, catching that rain by the end of the day. Those winds increasing too, perhaps even reaching gusts of 90 to 100 kilometres an hour through parts of Wellington, perhaps 80 or 90 or so around those southern parts of Taranaki, Wanganui and in towards Taihape. But it's a wet and windy end today for many of us. If you're looking for dry weather, perhaps head across towards Napier, where you might just avoid the worst of the rainfall through the day. It is still very warm though. That warm air is being dragged down across New Zealand, and you can see temperatures here around about 24, 25 degrees Celsius in the best of that sunshine on the eastern side, or places like Auckland, 22 degrees Celsius by day. But our nighttime temperatures, 18, very, very warm for the time of year. Down on the South Island, we have got plenty of weather still with us through Wednesday, and by Thursday we'll find that rain increasing again. We've got warnings out for parts of Southland, watches for Clutha, and we've got that heavy rain warning for more persistent rainfall in towards parts of Western, particularly those areas south of Hokitika. Watches towards the north, and you can see as we head through Thursday, we'll catch more rainfall through there. Those northerly winds will be pushing that rainfall in towards places like the Paparoa Range, but I think we are going to get a bit of shelter for places like Hokitika and Greymouth. But even here, heavy falls of rain on and off through the daytime, but heaviest probably through the afternoon on Thursday. And you can see as well those darker blues across those northern parts of the Tasman district and across in towards Marlborough, some large amounts of rainfall for you as well. There are warnings in place for those areas. Head along to the Met Service website for the timings in your area and for all the latest information. It's generally drier out towards the east, but even here I think we'll find some cloudy skies, spells of rain, and those winds very strong as well, particularly around Banks Peninsula and through the Canterbury High Country. We've got those watches for wind as we head through Thursday as well. In terms of our temperatures, it's about 28 degrees in Christchurch on Wednesday morning. A little bit cooler, but still very warm by the time we head through in towards Thursday, 23 degrees Celsius. But I think with all the wet and windy weather around for Thursday, the temperatures are fairly academic, and I think many of us will be more concerned with those severe weather watches and warnings. As we head in towards Friday, we'll find the system continues on its journey out towards the east. On this front, this purple line, there will be some fairly active falls of rainfall, perhaps running through Auckland in those early parts of the morning. So watch out for that on your commute first thing in the morning, perhaps some thunderstorms through there, and then running towards places such as the Bay of Plenty before slowly clearing away. Now, it is going to be an improving story. We saw the heaviest rainfall on Thursday and overnight Thursday into Friday, but it's still a fairly active end to the week before high pressure rebuilds back in time for the weekend. So please do keep a close eye on the forecast and the information from your local emergency management teams. And you can always find the latest information at metservice.com.